Thank you, Semra, of course, leading us through the post-game and making sure we're keeping our P's and Q's, dotting the I's, crossing the T's, making sure we're staying out of trouble, Wes. But speaking of trouble, Uzmakabil has taken the hot seat first and foremost. We have AS Monaco, multiple-time winners of this competition, finding themselves, as Semra said, in the penultimate position, 7th out of 8 teams. Not where they would have expected. On the other side, AC Milan, a fantastic match day 1, match day 2, leaving a little bit to be desired. We're probably thinking this is a case of Uzmakabil, AS Monaco, trying to catch AC Milan on potentially a bit of rocky form here.
Yeah, I mean, we said it in matchday 2, is that when we walked away from looking at AC Milan's gameplay, we had more questions than answers, because we had seen matchday 1, maximum points. Matchday 2, I think it was, 1 point, I think, against Manchester United. So you kind of look at them and say, okay, well, you've played against 2 quite tough opponents, in one being a derby and one being Manchester United. But now we've just seen Manchester United kind of be blown away by Arsenal. It kind of suggests, well, where is this form going with this team?
Well, we're about to find out, as Uzmakabil will be going up against Sassinho for AC Milan. Of course, make sure you stay up to date with all the eFootball socials. You can see them on your screen now. Sassinho entering the day with 4 goals to his name, but only 3 points. 3 points out of 6. I think you'd be fairly happy with that contribution to your team. But when you look at them, very polarising results. A 3-1 win on matchday 1 against, of course, Merriman from the other Milanese side in the competition, Inter. Then you come over to matchday 2. You play against United, Nexa. We know he's a very, very strong player, former MVP of the competition. And then you lose 3-1. So you've won 3-1, you've lost 3-1. If you're a betting man, you're probably thinking this one's going to be 3-1.
Most definitely. But this is it. I mean, we've also seen kind of almost the Jekyll and Hyde nature of Uzmakabil as well. Let's kind of talk to it on that side of things. 1-1 against Mestre, matchday 1. Came out matchday 2, all guns blazing. 6-1 it was against Stifler of AS Roma. What version of Uzmakabil is going to turn up? And more importantly, we talk about Monaco, we talk about Uzmakabil at length. You talk about the 2 players he's got alongside him. The through thread here is that Monaco, throughout all of their iterations of lineups, have still been able to achieve greatness. So now it's a case of, can they go ahead and do it again?
Well, I'd hate to take the spotlight away from either of these 2 teams, who of course will be wanting to fight for this beautiful piece of silverware come the end of the season. But I think one team that will be very interested in watching this match, Arsenal, they'll be in a great state of mind knowing they'll play AS Monaco on the next match day, having just taken 9 points from 9. All is good for them, but still maintain focus on what will be a very difficult Monaco lineup to go up against on the next match day. Of course, that's the task for AC Milan here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you are Arsenal, you're looking at this, you're probably looking at this and saying, okay, well, we've walked away with, I think, if my maths are correct, 16 points in 2 match days. Oh, okay, actually, we're back on form here. And again, if you're AC Milan, the onlookers for this one are in the last game of today. So they've got a good while to wait, have Barcelona to take a look at what they're going to be up against the next match day. Not only have they got to go up against Inter Milan this match day, they're going up against AC the next one.
Promise this is the last time we'll talk about Arsenal, but just to confirm, 18 points across 2 match days, not 3 match days, excuse me. Not bad at all.
It's not bad going.
Not bad going for the London club. But for now, AS Monaco are the spotlight against AC Milan. Monaco, multiple-time champions, 7th place in the league, just 5 points across 2 match days, and not the type of performance we expect out of the likes of Eldridge Cams. Uzmakabil has, as you said, won 6-1, but you expect AS Monaco, which is strange if you're watching this for the first time, but you expect AS Monaco to be towards the top 3 league positions.
Yeah, but I think that says a lot to their roster changes. I think it also says a lot in terms of play styles of those players. I was speaking to, I'll keep the confidence of said player, but they were talking to me before a ball was kicked today, and they were talking about how their team that they play doesn't really suit their play style because they're skill touch or skill move heavy on what they like to do, and some of their players may not necessarily be equipped to do that. And I think something needs to be said there about Cams and with O'Neill is that they've got to get used to a brand new side here. They, last season I believe it was Manchester United. You've now with Monaco, and there's a different level of expectation with them as well.
Well, speaking of the Monaco boys, they have a chance after seeing Manchester United drop so many points. A chance for them to really get back in that playoff hunt as they are entering the match day, and it still stands this way, 4 points behind the Manchester club. So decent performance here, you get the job done and you'll be leapfrogging the English club. We've spoken about Monaco, let's have a little chat about AC Milan before we kick off here. 9 points from 9, Arsenal now joining them in that club after their performance in match number 1 of this match day. They fell off on match day 2, didn't they? We have a lot of questions about AC Milan here, about what kind of team they're going to bring, what kind of performance they're going to show up here on the stage. It's difficult to really put the finger on the pulse of AC Milan.
Yeah, it is, because again, for those kind of within the know, you had Naples, who was kind of their marquee captain and kind of marquee signing when they established themselves in the eFootball Championship Pro. Cecchino and Quirito, not necessarily that well known within the esports circle, however, have proven themselves to actually have capabilities and the ability to put together good performances. The issue now becomes, of course, is can the team match up properly, or can it match up against Monaco? You talk about player matchups. You're going to have a look at Zlatan Ibrahimovic versus Marapan. Do those two marry up? Is the physicality battle going to be the thing that wins the day here?
Well, match number 2 of match day number 3 is now well and truly underway. It is Cecchino of AC Milan in the black and red going up against Uz Maccabil. Need I say more? Lealdo with an early chance here, still in the danger area. And it's a goal for Milan. 4 minutes gone. Zlatan, he's headed it home.
It's chaos. It's utter chaos. It's what we've just seen there. You saw dummies and super cancels from AC Milan. And then it's just, again, benefiting from chaos. When these chances provide themselves, as we'll see here, ball goes in, it's ricocheted off the goalkeeper. Unfortunately, not cleared by defender. He said it pops up nicely. And again, Zlatan's going to head that home without worrying about where it's come from. It's a goal, and that's it. So it's 1-0 to AC Milan, and they have a lead here.
They do, and there was questions of offside, but there was at least one defender playing him on, so that goal will stand, and it's goal number 5 of the season for Cecchino and his AC Milan team, which entered the match day 2nd in the table. Looking to continue to climb here.
And we talked about play styles of certain nation players. We talk about, we've spoken about the French at length already. The Italian play style is get a goal ahead and then frustrate your opponent, get them to be lured out of where they are, and then strike them again. That's going to be where you're going to see here.
Well, Ben Yedder has been a firm favourite of Monaco, and well, Volland is there on the far side, and there's your reply. Uz Maccabil. You cannot keep him down. We're in for a game here.
We are indeed. We are indeed. Again, the composure, again, to take that touch, to not try and take the volley or not try and take a header or not try and take it first time. Instead, takes the touch, gets it down, then controlled strikes it. Brilliant finish from Uz Maccabil.
That is a brilliant finish. To see the run on the far side.
Yeah, we'll see it again here. Just this touch, takes it under control, gets it down, hits it on the half volley, pops it into the back of that. Brilliant finish.
I use the expression, don't poke the bear when it comes to his Maccabil. I did feel a little bit sorry seeing AS Roma's Stifler go up against him on match day 2 after what was no doubt a disappointing result for the 3-time world champion as Maccabil, who's now scored his 8th of the season so far. Because after being frustrated by Matchday on match day 1, just a 1-1 draw, Stifler underwent the full wrath of his Maccabil, and he's coming forward here again. And I do worry that maybe Cecchino is susceptible to coming under the same sort of wrath, and if he's not careful, Maybe a similar sort of scoreline, but let's not count out Cecchino just yet. He's proven he can score multiple times in the league, 5 goals to his name. He's coming forward here as well, looking for Leao on that far side.
Yeah, you can just see now it's starting to just settle into a little bit of a rhythm for these two teams. Both have got a goal here, but both are still trying to address their each other's defensive frailties. But it's a poor passing move there by Maccabi.
It was a nice knockdown, but the resulting pass is just a little bit short of the target, and that might just give the chance here. Cecchino with the cross, looking for the player there, and Cecchino back in front. Beautiful, and all smiles on the Milanese side of the stage. 2-1.
It's a brilliant ball into Di Catalare. Fantastic finish. But again, we talked about physicality, we talked about stature. The forwards that AC Milan have at their disposal, Rafael Leao, Ibrahimovic, the goal scorer just there, all are physically imposing players. And again, if you give them half a chance aerially, they're going to find the finish. Again, this neat little intricate play here. Diaz gets the ball out to Rafael Leao. Again, an open look, as it were, for Rafael Leao to find that ball in. And you can see there at the back post, hand up, give me the ball, give me into this position. Brilliant leap there. It's almost like he's got springs in his boots.
It's what we look for so much, is that hand up from the virtual player. We'll just peel away from that full back or that defender at the back post, and it leaves so much space to be exploited. That, by the way, goal number 6 for Cecchino, so he's soaring up the goal-scoring charts.
Slowly coming into their own, I think, in terms of the players themselves. I think they're finally now getting comfortable with coming away from home, coming into an environment of offline play, and starting to just get that bit of comfort level.
Oh, speaking of comfort, Zlatan's here, and this is where he's comfortable, goes for goal. Will win the header here as well. Leao forces the corner. Cecchino, he's on the hunt here.
That's the thing, you've got to keep your foot down. You've got to keep that pressure on. It's all well and good having the lead. Against a player like Maccabi, though, you have to keep your foot down. You have to keep going. You have to get as many goals as you can, because, you know, in terms of, you know, kind of guarantees in life, it's death, it's taxes, and it was Maccabi scoring more goals.
Just ask Matchday at the finals of last season. He knows what that feels like. Corner to come for Milan. Inside with Diaz, but Golovin is there. Ben Yedder now. Dispossessed but unfairly, says the referee.
I'll say this much as well, it will not take much for Maccabi to get going here again either.
Golovin, Boadu is there. Anyone following? Tonali for the defence will clear that one away. Is Maccabi a little bit annoyed he didn't have any runners there? No one following the ball in.
No one following the ball in, but more importantly, it's a really good manual save there from Cecchino. And interestingly, we talk about tactics, we talk about players. You'll have a look on the right-hand side of your screen. Rafael Leao deployed deep out wide, as in touchline, have chalk on your boots. That's exactly where AC Milan's game plan is get balls into the box.
Just keep an eye out then on that far side for the final 15 in-game minutes of this first half, as no doubt that will be the outlet for AC Milan. Who's Maccabi now on the ball? What can Monaco do to try and chip away at this lead? Enrique. Fofana. Good build-up from his Maccabi so far, looking for Volland. Ben Yedder. Oh, yes! Oh, yes, Ben Yedder for AS Monaco. A tale as old as time in this competition. 2-2.
As sure as night follows day, Wissam Ben Yedder will be there or thereabouts in terms of goal-scoring ability. Again, really well worked here from Maccabi. Goes backwards, waits for the... Again, we're waiting for those lines of players to move forward. Again, finds a controlled finish, gets it through traffic, finds an open look and gets the goal. And again, it is an equaliser, and a big equaliser in that for Maccabi and for AS Monaco.
one of my favourite types of goals that was. Back in the old days, you know, Pro Evolution Soccer days, I used to score those goals and then I'd go into the replay and get the right angle on it to see the curve and see the beautiful finish and the ball physics in this game. But it's enough about 8-year-old Harry playing old school games. Right now, as Maccabeal is now the joint leading goal scorer of this professional competition. And what a game one we've had here. We asked for an encore of match one. Boy, Assassino and Maccabeal giving it to us here. It's the latter on the offense. Far side, chance to cross one in, Golovin, Ben Yedder, good closing down by Milan. Half time approaching here, Wes.
Yeah, it's really delicately poised here as well. Looking at how these two teams are both performing, you see that Rafa Leao out on that left-hand side, and he's waiting for those runners in the box. Instead, though, he's coming back the other way with AS Monaco.
Well, I called for it. Roxa and Maccabeal being the two superstars, in my opinion, of this goal-scoring chart so far. We still have Eterito to come as well. No doubt he'll want to join that race, but they're tied at the top.
Ci saranno 3 minuti di recupero.
3 minutes added on here in the first half of game one. Sassinho starting to build now. Touched by Leao. Well, he's hounding the defender here, but the referee, I think, he's not too happy about what he's seen here.
Yeah, it looks like they tried to get the ball back a little bit too aggressively there.
Final attack of the half, no doubt. Leao once more, that outlet for AC. Cleared away though by Monaco, and that will signal the end of an action-packed first half. AC Milan 2, Monaco 2.
In the greatest of ways, that felt like that lasted forever.
Yep.
That felt like a really good half of eFootball in terms of watching both gameplay, or watching gameplay from both players. Both not willing to give each other any leeway. There is, every time there is an opportunity, there is danger for both teams here. How's your Italian, Harry?
Oh,
Is it as good as your French?
Yeah, about that. Just listening to some of the tweaks and some of the change in tactics here from the Milan side. You can see the quick counter tactics here, Wes, and I wonder whether or not it's a bit of a second guess, kind of stick or twist type of thing. Maybe he's starting to twist now, thinking that a player of his Maccabeal's counter is going to start latching onto that Leao outlet. We're into the second half here with Monaco in the ascendancy. 2-2 though.
Yeah, and the thing is, with the quick counter play style, once you lose the ball, all of your players are trying to recover that ball very quickly. So again, it's trying to put more pressure on us Maccabeal. Once he reclaims the ball, he's got to move that ball quickly, but he has to be accurate with it. It's a brilliant through ball.
Boadu here, and that's the third for us Maccabeal. A hat-trick for the three-time world champion. 3 goals. He sits alone now at the top of the charts. But more importantly for his Monaco team, he could be well on his way for 3 points.
Well, we literally had said it. No sooner we was almost predicting what was coming. We said he has to be more accurate with the football, and as such, he finds a brilliant through ball. And Boadu, again, neat little finish, beats Magna at his near post. And again, as I said, probably the most angry person I've ever seen play eFootball, and you will never know what the scoreline is just looking at him.
Well, we can tell you the scoreline, 3-2, double digits, the first player of the competition this season to break that milestone. Piles all the pressure back onto Sassinho here. Always a difficult player to play against. Ben Yedder now, double touch, goes for goal, might come to Boadu here. Monaco still on the offensive. Bolland beats his man, has plenty of space to work with here as well. Kamara, Golovin, back heel to Boadu. Is there an avenue through? Tonali says no. Now look out for this quick counter. Sassinho coming forward. Here is Leao playing a little bit more centrally now.
L'affluenza di quest'oggi è di
On the hour mark. Nice little spell for Sassinho.
Got to make them count though, especially against somebody like Usman Kabil. You have to make these kind of purple periods count. Got to make them count if you're gonna be profitable in this competition.
Beautiful football here by Sassinho, but the pressure from Usman Kabil will lead to a corner. I guess you could say an unforced error there.
It's delicate, as you can see here. Changes just coming in a little bit here on the AC Milan side of things.
Sostituzione per il Milan. Numero 10. Lascia il campo per il
And subs have been made here for this corner, and oh, that could have been very dangerous.
Very much gone anywhere.
We had a little listen there to the AS Monaco boys. It's always fun to hear what Usman Kabil and the teams that like to strategize by committee, the conversations they tend to have. Of course, Camps, the coach of the French national team, Usman Kabil has great respect for him, so will always value his opinion.
Yeah, I think it goes to be said, having players around you who you respect.
Oh, there's a chance here though for Milan. Leao, double touch inside. That's a great save. A necessary one. Leao still hanging in there. Danger averted for now.
And what I will say is this as well, in terms of what we were talking about in terms of player selection for Monaco. The additional volumes of players cannot come quick enough for these guys to actually have a look at some of reinforcements around the field.
Excellently cut out by Sassinho. He's been rewarded by a bit of space to run into here. Diassi, vital intervention. 15 in-game minutes, and it seems to be one-way traffic here. Usman Kabil cannot seem to get out. And that potentially a sign of that struggle.
And vitally, he has the lead still though, and with the time ticking down, as we've said so often before, as long as that ball's in play. I think AC Milan just checking how many pauses they have left.
Guarda, ma via Zucker, così non aver fatto un modo a classe
It's fascinating to listen to. Just again, like we said, you may not understand the language, but the body behaviour and the language of that, you know, the way that they are speaking will tell you is that both players know they're still in this game.
Well, Rebic has entered the field of play. Haven't seen too much involvement of him so far here in match 2 of match day number 3. This is game 1 if you're just joining us. Milan searching for an equaliser. Rebic. Unsuccessful that time. Krunic might be the beneficiary of another bounce here, but no, it will be a throw into Monaco, and that's a little bit of a let-off.
Just needs to give himself a little bit of a respite here. Usman. Let's get it across midfield and try and keep it there just for a little bit, just to try and take some of the time away.
Well, that's a long ball towards the corner. Boadu was giving chase. But you sense this is most certainly Uzmakabeel just trying to take the sting out of this game. Really makes Sasinho work for his money here. Approaching the final 5 in-game minutes. 5 in-game minutes away from 3 points here for Monaco. Uzmakabeel looking to try and add to his already 3 goals today. Time's running out here for Milan in game 1. '90th minute now. Just looking for that bit of quality, that bit of class. Is that enough time to take this game out of the hands of Milan? Knock on by Zlatan. One last attack here. Diassi will clear. And there you go. Uzmakabeel and Monaco, 3 points on the board with a win in game 1 against AC Milan, the 3-time world champion, getting business done on what was a, admittedly, very difficult game 1 for him.
It certainly was. And again, you talk about matchups of teams, and we speak a lot about the stats with those players, but it was the physicality that was showing through for AC Milan in the very early going. It had to be, though, a different style of play from Monaco to unseat them. You have to use the traits and the weapons that are at your disposal. You can't use the same formation, the same type of gameplay in every single game with different teams or with the same team, because that's just not how football works. You have to utilise the weapons that you have at your disposal. And again, as we said before, nobody will know Monaco's weapons better than Uzmakabeel.
Absolutely, it was a difficult game for him though, as we saw Milan take the lead not once but twice. That one from Sasinho has put him up onto 6 goals on the season so far. Really not bad going at all for a debut season in this competition. It was always going to be a tough ask. Of course, these players don't know the player they're going to be playing against until you're sat across from them. So Sasinho knew there was a 1 in 3 chance he'd be coming up against a 3-time world champion. And I think he's given himself a decent account for himself here, although he'll be disappointed with the result in the end. Yeah,
and that kind of is a little bit of a testament to AC Milan and to Sasinho's performances, is that he knows he's been in the game and he'll be disappointed that he's not walked away with something from that game. Now, this is the one that intrigues me the most in relation to, we're talking about players who need results. If you look at Cams, he's got 1 point in these first 2 match days. He'll be looking to set the tone. Of course, Eldridge, who we will see in game 3, he's got no points to his name. He needs to get off the mark. Uzman needs a little bit of backup here.
Absolutely, you can see in the hot seat now, Cams for AS Monaco, the Frenchman up against Kirito of AC Milan. Of course, keep answering the questions at home. We want to know your tactics. We want to know. Come on, I need all the help I can get over here.
Certainly.
But looking forward to, because we had a brief chat, of course, not a brief chat, quite an in-depth chat actually before the show, Wes, about AS Monaco's chances this season, because we know Uzmakabeel's going to put those points on the board. It's about Cams, it's about Eldridge, it's about what they can contribute to get them at least into that top 6 area come the end of the season, to allow them that chance in knockout football.
Yeah, and it's like we said earlier on, I think you mentioned it briefly in terms of the minimum that players or teams should be probably expecting or wanting from this performance or from this tournament. You're wanting a minimum of 4 points a match day. That would relatively see you through if results go your other way. If you're looking for a minimum of 4, you're realistically only looking for 6 places there.
I love that.
That's a fantastic tactic.
That is a Harry Channon special there, by the way. Thank you very much. Keep them coming, guys. I enjoyed that one. But Cams has Kirito to go up against. When we look at his form so far, 4 points to his name. Has been a steady contributor to the AC Milan side. In fact, has the most points out of his teammates Sasinho and Naples. So 4 for him, 3 for his 2 teammates. So you're thinking that Kirito might fancy himself here when you look at Cams' results. A little bit lackluster.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he would be looking at this as a game that he could potentially steal here, but we know the level of Cams. We know what he can bring to the table, as you alluded to, in terms of from coaching and as a player. You know, but I think this one sizes up to be a very interesting game here because it just depends on what levels these guys bring.
Well, we'll be hoping for the most high level possible as we kick off game number 2. It is Monaco versus Milan, and well, it's Cams and Monaco here looking to strike first and early. Wadu still giving chase. Kirito and AC Milan in the classic strip, as it will be a decent defensive header to settle things there at the back.
Yeah, Cam's looking to try and really set that tone and set that pace early on here.
Kirito then, 4 goals so far this season. He's capable of scoring, we know that. The question is, can he replicate his Matchday 1 performance when he beat Arda Golazzo 2-1?
Errant input there that's caused a corner.
Corner to Milan.
Comes a bit frustrated. This results in a goal for AC Milan.
Watch this space as Diaz to Ibrahimovic. Kamara gets there first. It's always going to be a tentative start of this match as the players just get to grips with how it feels up there on the stage. They get to feel out the opponent as well, having just watched such a frenetically paced game between Maccabeal and Sassinho. Another corner here for Milan. Diaz to swing it in. Ibrahimovic is the target. Rebic! He tucks it home! And a perfect opener here for Kirito, his 5th of the season, to put Milan ahead again.
It's always who reacts first. From those goalkeeper saves and from those deflections, who reacts first? And Rebic was there on the double as quick as you like. You can see it was the most basic of corners, and I mean that with the greatest of respect, because we sometimes see trickery, we see flick-ons, we see everything else. Instead, it was just put the ball into the box, let Ibrahimovic get a header, and we'll see what happens from there. And again, you know, simple football can sometimes be a really vital thing to have within eFootball.
That it can. There's that man's confirmation. Goal number 5. Barely a reaction from either side of the stage. They know there's plenty more eFootball to be played here in game 2.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. There's certainly a lot of time left on the clock. There's a lot of football left to be played, and there's certainly a lot of passes that are left to be played as Ben Yedder looks to get away through here.
Has Calabria for company. Beats his man here as well. Golovin had so much time and space, but the service lacking for now. Volland with the letting it run. Boadu! And there it is! Less than 10 in-game minutes since Milan take the lead. Monaco just tap them on the back of the shoulder and say, we're still in this one. Cams scores to make it his 3rd of the season and tie things up here in game 2.
It was all that feint from Volland where he lets it run through his legs. It gives Volland the opportunity to just put the burners on quicker than if he took control of the ball. And again, simple is cutback. Again, as we say, simple is as simple does. It's the easiest chance that was there, and it's just taken clinically. Sometimes, as we said, the most simple things are the most effective things within eFootball.
Keep it simple, stupid. That's what
that's exactly it.
my old teachers used to tell me. Offside from the kick-off there. Not sure what my teachers would think about what I do nowadays, but
it's that 8-year-old Harry again, isn't it?
It's a conversation for another time, I think, as we still have Monaco and Milan butting heads here. Cam's looking to try and find Ben Yedder. That's a bit of a disappointing touch. Excellent vision to find him in the first place. Rebic on this near side, tries to play it across to Zlatan, but the goalkeeper very well positioned, needed to be.
Big hands from Nobel there, will take that one clear. And again, you talk about opportunities down the other end of the field. It's a really heavy touch from Ben Yedder, otherwise you'd certainly be looking at this as you know, a go-ahead goal, but as it stands, it's still 1-1.
Brahim Diaz, Leao, this is really nice build-up. Ibrahimovic rifles that one home. Some of the best build-up we've seen so far on Matchday 3. Unreal build-up play. The finish matches it. Milan back in front.
Yeah, it was clean. It was clean and it was effective. As you said, just passes and passes and passes. It was 1 touch, 2 touch, 1 touch and goal. So aesthetically pleasing to watch from a passing build-up point of view. And again, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, especially in this type of environment, with the the collective strength of 24-30, he's worth his weight in gold in terms of an ability of a player.
Cams is distraught after all his hard work. Now finds himself down again. Number 6 for Kirito. Staying in contention in that leading goal-scoring charts. In his debut season, no less. Good ball from Cams though. Here is Buadu cutting inside. As Kier for company, giving him the runaround in truth. Oh, and that's a lovely ball. Buadu, what can he do with it now? Kier there in the recovery mission. Excellently defended. Keep your eyes peeled here as Milan pouring forward in numbers. Enrique with the challenge and danger averted for now.
It's just those moments of indecision that are just proving to be the difference makers between whether Monaco can get a second goal here. Yeah, we're not even at half-time yet either. Again, these games, because of how frantic they are, seem to be lasting an age.
We've seen that long, flat switch of the play a couple of times work out in Cams' favour. And, well, it's an unforced error. It will gift position here to Cams. Ben Yedder on the edge of the box, double touch inside. Buadu still chasing this one. Nothing doing though for Cams here. Approaching half-time and Zlatan's strength coming in Milan's favour. Here he is on the ball again, almost giving Maripan the run around. 3 minutes added on. And we just don't know who's going to score next. Buadu now. To the feet of Ben Yedder. 2 men to aim for. Make it 3 now as Enrique takes a little bit too long on the ball. Will this one roll out and continue play? The answer is no. We will enter the break. AC Milan 2, AS Monaco 1.
Lo so che addirittura però almeno una taccazza. Una sola. Dopo che c'è il possesso tu puoi fare l'azione.
Interesting to see as we kick off the second half. The majority of the coaching on the Milan side has come from the man that has just been in the hot seat, Sassinho. Talking to Kirito, just talking him through what he personally has experienced, no doubt, and being able to bounce off that is invaluable. That one bounces, fortunately for AS Monaco here. Throw into them.
Yeah, I think so. It's more so of a comfort level in terms of, okay, we know how you're feeling as Buadu makes his way in.
Yeah, good find, looking for Ben Yedder again. But we speak about comfort level, and it is often that the players that find themselves most comfortable up there on the stage tend to prosper the most. When we think about Roxa, he's bags of confidence, he's bags of comfortability. You've seen the performances he's put in this season. Solid across the board. Cam's now with Volland as Monaco looking for that equaliser here in game 2. To the feet of Boadu. Volland on the overlap. Kamara, that's a very strong challenge, and well, I think the referee, he's given a penalty here. That is a gift to AS Monaco and Cams. Kirito versus Cams on the penalty. Oh. That's cheeky. That is cool. But let me tell you, I like that a lot. That is Milan 2, Monaco 2. The confidence on the chipped penalty, the Penenka, we all love to see it.
We do indeed, but again, coolness in the most extreme pressures. 2-1 down, you've got a penalty after you baited Kaya into making that challenge and throwing in a leg that you shouldn't have been doing. But again, the composure to then just a little dink down the middle. Thank you very much, there's my equaliser. And interestingly enough, and again, we talk about behaviours, I haven't seen Cams be this quiet before. Never seen him be so kind of docile. Normally it's arms and theatrics, and instead it's just, no, I've got a job to do here. This is what I'm going to do.
That job's still on. Defensive work to do. Zlatan.
I say that, curse of the commentator, and it's right there.
Zlatan, I always use the term in commentary, rifles, just because his shot is so powerful. It's like nothing else you can see in this game. Definite curse of the commentator.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely. As we let a Bry chuckle out on the commentary desk.
He heard you and was like, I'm going to make Wes look foolish here. Corner to come. Tomori! Disappointment, I think, from the Milan side, as that was a free header in the box.
Big chance there for Tomori at the back post. Very big chance. And again, it's kind of mirrored by both behaviours there from the players. You saw kind of Kirito just kind of, can't believe that's not going in. And Cams knows how worrying that is to not to see that chance go on.
Volland here, Golovin, Ben Yedder tries to back heel, get a second chance at it here, but that's really good defending. Defensive hounding there from Kirito. Saw confirmation of Cams' 4th of the season across 3 match days. Not a bad return, but it's points they want. And you can hear that in the emotion coming from the Monaco side. Rebic to Calabria. That switch of play to Leao has been very interesting indeed. Diaz blocked and then headed behind for a corner. Good build up there from Milan.
It's delicately poised now, this game. Just with that penalty, it is now delicately poised. Both players, you can see, they may not necessarily be showing it on the sticks, but you can see it in their gameplay. Both are concerned and both are trying to get that next goal. They know how important it is both to their own aspirations personally, but their team's aspirations going forward into future match days.
Big difference here. Cam's in the zone, headphones on. Doesn't care about what his Maccabeal has to say. Eldridge, you can stay quiet as well. Whereas on the other side, Kirito talking to Naples, talking to Cecchino. What can this corner bring here for Milan? Oh, they've won the header. As we approach the 70th minute here, AS Monaco on the offensive now. Minamino blocks away the clearance. Might just add a bit of pressure here to AC Milan, but they almost get it away cleanly. Diatta, Boadu with the strike. Oh, it's off the woodwork. Diatta keeps it alive. Minamino now. Ben Yedder! There is number 3. And there is Cams in the lead finally. 3-2 to AS Monaco. Can he hold it now?
He took every bit of restraint and every bit of experience to not pull the trigger right there with Minamino. Instead finds that extra pass. Ben Yedder is all alone in the Redwood Forest and finds the back of the net. Fantastic finish. And Cams, as you said, finally takes the lead.
Means so much to Cams, but keeping it cool for now. No doubt we're going to see an emotional response if he can see this through.
There's 18 in-game minutes here.
The final 18. Of course, keep your chat interactions coming as we see the, well, first of all, the confirmation of goal number 5 on the season, but also the final 15 in-game minutes. Boadu is arriving! Oh, no! That surely would have sealed it.
It's incredibly tight angle to try and pull that off.
Here's the Milan counter. How painful could this be? Leao! Absolute heartbreak from almost scoring at one end to conceding at the other. 3-3 now. What a game!
How quickly the tables can turn. You're up one end of the field and you've rued the chance that you had. And instead it goes down the other end. And again, it's this ball from Krunic here, just a scoop ball, gets it into the middle. Rafalev just a little bit of a breakaway from that defender, finds the header. And it's an equaliser for Quirito.
Do not blink, ladies and gentlemen, because this has been back and forth. The amount of lead changes we've seen.
Well, the reaction you saw from Quirito was like, I've just scored an equaliser, it's okay.
Well, still 10 in game to go. You know, it could still go either way. Diatta here for Cams. Minamino! Cams back in front. It's the man who he showed patience with for goal number 3. Tucks it home for goal number 4. Talk me through this one, Wes, because we've seen 7 goals.
It was just footwork here from Diatta. Just gives him the opportunity to come and get the ball. Quirito commits, then allows Diatta the space. Ball goes into Minamino. And Cams is now 4 goals to 3 up in this game.
Well, he started this match day with 2 goals.
Oh, he's up to, well, actually, if you looked at the, well, you do, yeah, quite rightly. I'm just trying to do the mental maths in my head here. Yep, started the game with 2 goals, started the match day with 2 goals, now up to 6. And that will certainly nestle him in and amongst the runners and riders for top goal scorer. And if results stay their way in terms of points there, Monaco will be very happy indeed if it can stay like this.
It's a very big if, but we said today might be a hallmark day for Monaco to try and get themselves out of that bottom 2 and into that top 6.
And as cheerleaders go, a 3-time world champion isn't a bad guy to have in your corner, right?
Not bad, is it at all? Monaco 3, excuse me, Monaco 4, Milan 3. Milan coming forward to try and get that 4th. Number 6 for the sharpshooter. Look out for Rebic though. Who can he find? It's Leao at the back post. Back in towards Rebic. Will stay alive here for Milan. Leao cannot get past the first man. one will be a Monaco throw.
And how Milan would love for some of those legends at the bottom of the screen, having a Ronaldo or a Kaka to call on in this type of scenario. How they'd love it at this point in time. Unfortunately, they do not have those players at their disposal. Instead, it is Ibrahimovic who they do, but Diatta to cut back to Monaco, looking to just try and close down the game a little bit.
Approaching the 90th minute now. It is all or nothing for Milan. Switching the play, looking for Leao. Red dot by Cam, 6. A minimum of added on here.
It's a bit generous, to say the least, from the referee.
Ben Yedder's ball goes absolutely nowhere, and that's going to allow maybe one last roll of the dice. But they've lost it, and Camps can come forward here. Minamino electing to just run off some of this clock. He's been fouled as well. That will buy a little bit more time off of that clock.
It's what you need at this level. If you know how valuable these points are, which I am sure Cams, as Maccabi and O'Neill are very well aware of, they will be looking to close this game out.
Ben Yedder, plenty of space on that far side. Into the 6th of 6 added on. Surely no chance here for Milan to get a breakaway before the referee blows his whistle. Calabria, there will be one last chance. Leao. Oh, this could be a nightmare for Monaco. Brax is there! Oh,
it goes wide. What was that you said about an explosion of emotion?
That's a mixture of excitement, jubilation, with a sprinkle of relief that that last shot goes wide. It will end Monaco and Cams 4. AC Milan 3, and a valuable first 3 points of the season for Cams.
He'd said in the prelim, or he'd said in the room upstairs, or in the practice room, he had said, I've only got 1 point. I need to break that deadlock. I need to break that duct, and my word has he.
Well, we've got some highlights here, Wes. I don't know where you start. We saw 7 goals in game number 2 after the 5 we saw in game 1. Unfortunately for Milan, the pendulum just not swinging in their favour so far in this 3-game match.
It's not been through the lack of trying, though. That's the thing. It's certainly not been through a lack of effort from AC Milan. It's just Monaco have found that, as we said, that as we always have alluded to, about that championship DNA, that championship mentality. You know, the players may switch out, and the players may be different over course of seasons, but the through line stays the same. Monaco can find ways to win.
That they can. This one, if you're keeping count, I believe was Monaco's 3rd, and the first lead taken of the game by Cams at that point. We're thinking, yeah, okay, this is feeling pretty straightforward from here on out. And who comes back? Of course, it's Kirito with Rafael Leao heading it home to make it 3-3, 10 in-game minutes to go with a little bit of change. And there is Minamino. So much patience exhibited on that 3rd goal when he had a chance, as you rightly called out, West, to pull the trigger with Minamino, instead played that one extra pass.
Yep.
So smartly done.
And sometimes it's those percentage looks that these players will look for. They'll look for that 100% chance, and if it's there, they'll take it. I think sometimes we've been a little bit critical of players not pulling the trigger, not taking a strike when it's on. But sometimes, as we saw there is great value in keeping your composure and finding an additional pass, because it pays you dividends at the end of the game.
That it does. We saw the players there, no time to rest on their laurels. Taking the hot seat, we saw Eldridge O'Neill sit down for AS Monaco. And then we saw Naples sit down for the Milanese side. The Milan side, by the way, which is potentially on the cusp of being on the losing end of a 9 points out of 9 sweep. And after their antics in Matchday 1, that's no doubt a feeling they thought they'd never feel.
Yeah, certainly, and it's not something you would have predicted if you'd have got to the end of match day 1 and said, okay, well, you know, match day 2, they're going to walk away with 1 point, and potentially they could walk away with no points on match day 3. I don't think anybody who was looking at the form book at that point would have said, yeah, that's about a right prediction. But certainly, you know, they have got their captain now in Naples, who will hopefully try and restore a little bit of order here, and O'Neill looking for his first victory at this point in time for Monaco. So both have things to play for here.
That they do as we kick off game number 3 between AS Monaco and AC Milan. Looks like a referee just making sure that we're abiding by the rules here up there on the stage. Totally understandable. We do work hard, our referees here in the eFootball Championship Pro. Got to give a big bit of love for them.
Yeah, absolutely. They make everything kind of possible within the confines here, and of course, I believe they're making it a little bit easier for us to make sure that player names are above heads. So it makes it a lot easier for us to call the action at home. So we do thank them a lot for their time and their expertise.
The players are going to hate me for this. Eldridge, Naples, when you watch this back, very sorry. Both players coming off of a loss from match day 2. Hate to point that out, but this could be a real swing in the fortunes of both Eldridge and Naples here, as the latter has the ball, looking to feed Ibrahimovic inside. But when you look back to match day 2, 2-0 loss for Eldridge against Irma of AS Roma, a very difficult opponent indeed. Kilzu had in Naples his loss on match day 2. He's going for potential header there.
Yeah, this is what we say about matchups with players as well. Sometimes you can get an unfortunate draw within the team that you're playing against. You may think, you know, oh, there might be slightly weaker players, but sadly, when you get onto the sticks in eFootball, there's no such thing as a difficult or an easy game, especially at this level.
Yeah, we say these commentary tropes quite often, but it is so true. The other one we say is you don't get these points back, which is why we speak to these eFootball Championship Pro players. They say a lot of the times if we get 4 as a minimum points out of 9, then we're doing all right for ourselves. Right now, I think AS Monaco will be very happy with where they find themselves in the table after this match day. Boadu unable to find the switch there.
And as you said, there's so many attempts at that cross-field switch or that crossover. Certainly feels as though the players who are trying it have identified that there is a bit of a weakness in terms of abilities of players to get that ball across. If you get the ball across quick enough, you're able to cause damage.
Into the feet of Zlatan. Diaz, Rebic is there. Well read in the end by Eldridge, who has been struggling for form at his new club here, AS Monaco. Yet to secure himself a point so far. Of course, we know what Eldridge is capable of, which is why Naples is going to have to keep his wits about him here. Just like that, Diatta is galloping away. Beneda, though, unable to receive the service there, and 25 minutes gone. Not so much to write home about so far here in game 3. Don't know if we've been spoiled by the action of games 1 and 2 so far.
I think there would certainly be an argument there that we've been spoiled by the fact that we have seen, by my count, what we're talking 12 goals in 2 games. We are a little bit spoiled here, but there is something to be said about the game that we're watching here, is that Eldridge is trying to get himself into this game. Naples, much the same, trying to just find their feet here. As Rebic makes his way through, looking for Ibrahimovic.
Ibra's there! Ibra scores! Just when we were looking for a little bit of action. Who else but Zlatan to head it home? 1-0.
And as we said, both were trying to find their way into the game. Once you can find those players who you like to go to, your Ibrahimovic's, your Rafaleos, your Baudus, your Diattas, once you start to find them regularly, in a game, you'll then find the ability to find them in the box. You'll see there, perfect timing. Ibrahimovic gets past that defender, but he's as the ball is played, so he's not offside, finds himself free in the box. And again, he's a predator.
1-0 to Milan. We've seen that story before. Naples looking to extend the 3 goals he has this season so far. Long ball to Boadu, that's a nice touch. Holland will recover here as well. It's nice, 1-2 almost. Fruitful for him. See a lot of coaching going on there from Camps.
Yeah, it's seemingly that tight, kind of close-knit environment within Monaco is that they're able to sit there and say, hey, this is what we're spotting, this is what we're seeing. Sometimes it doesn't even require a coach to be there. Sometimes it's your teammates that will see it in the heat of battle.
Well, that's the beauty of the offline format. We now have all players in the same place, seeing the same things. Of course, while it was fun playing from home, we still want to know what you at home think. Keep interacting with these polls. We love to see it.
Big support there for AC Milan.
So far, so good for 60% of you here in game 3 at least. For games 1 and 2, maybe we don't talk about those. But anyway, Ben Yedder. Tomori cuts that one out. But defensively so far, Naples seems to have the answer to a lot of what Eldridge wants to do.
Ci sarà un minuto di recupero.
Oh, that one's very risky indeed, but Naples able to get away with that one. Cleared up pitch, and that one will signal the end of the first half here in game 3. Milan 1, Monaco 0.
Yeah, and I'd say on the balance of play, I think you give it to AC Milan. They've had the lion's share of possession. They've had the one opportunity that has been. They managed to take it. You'd say it's a fair result in this regard. It's just what can O'Neill find in his bag of tricks that he can answer back with here.
So second half underway. Ben Yedder with a stunning strike from distance to kick us off. That's a statement of intent from Eldridge. Got into a good position here and saw the opportunity to take the strike, and why not?
Got to test that keeper at some point.
His reward is a corner on this near side. Looks like it will be an in-swinger. Bit of a waste, to say the least.
Yeah, that was a bit of a waste, to say the very least there. Opportunity to put some pressure on instead. Doesn't even make it into the box.
Bit of a wake-up call perhaps to Naples to know he can't rest on this slender lead. May well have to go in search of more. Crossfield ball to Ben Yedder. He'll get there with time and space, and oh, that one is very dangerous.
Very close to an equaliser there. Very, very close indeed.
Another in-swinger, this time on target. Fofana to Golovin. And Leao is there to cut that one out. Might just spring the counter here for Milan. Rebic now, look how much time and space he's got. Leao back to him now. Oh, and Zlatan's there. Doubles the Milan lead. And the 1-2 between Leao and Rebic, I believe it was, deserved the goal. Zlatan's there to make sure that they get the reward.
Yeah, it's a basic tapping in the end. It was really good build-up, though, from Naples and AC Milan. Really good build-up. Unlucky to hit the post. It fortuitously comes out, and Zlatan's there to just poke that home. doubles the lead. And again, Naples isn't going to mind one way or the other. Again, they all count the same.
Devastation on the face of Eldridge because he knows that has just made his task so much more difficult here in the second half. Wadu back to Diatta. Ben Yedder was waiting, but good read again. Kalulu to cut it out. And that goal is so much more than just number 4 on the season for Naples, as Zlatan actually will get the better of Sarr! 3-0. Naples in control now. After a devastating game 1 and 2, Milan looks set. Surely now to get some points on the board in this encounter.
Yeah, again, Ibrahimovic just bullying Sarr. Just gets around him, takes the ball away from him. You see the through ball there. Again, it's a bit of a foot race, but again, going up against him, just muscles him off, gets ahead of him. And it's a control finish into the corner. 3-0. And that, you would say, is surely going to be 3 points for AC Milan in this tie. Even with being 3 goals to the good, AC Milan still trying to tweak and make sure that they take these 3 points away.
Just shows the mentality, doesn't it? Milan want to try and replicate that performance from matchday 1 on every single match day. If this result stays the same, as no doubt it will, we'll see AC Milan back up into 2nd place in the table, of course trailing Arsenal, who had a blockbuster day here today. Still the formality of the rest of this game to play out. About half an hour in game. Surely, I mean, technically enough time for 3 goals from Eldridge, but he's got to get a bit of a wiggle on here, as we say back in the UK. To translate that, that means he has to go fast. Leao, nice touch. Ibrahimovic, Leao! Ibra! I'm going to be saying that so much this season. A double brace from Zlatan today, 4 goals. And that's what he brings to this virtual side. He will follow that strike in. Right place, right time. 4-0.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the goals, it's very much rebound city here for AC Milan, but they are profiting from it. That's what you need to do. You need to create these opportunities, and you need to force the goalkeeper to making saves, because, again, when you're on the front foot, your players will follow the ball, as you rightly said. When Ibrahimovic is circling, you've got to give him something to aim at. And if it is a save from a goalkeeper or a deflection, he will try and latch onto it. You've got to put the ball into those areas in the first place to then profit from those rebounds.
Four 0. The most commanding scoreline we've seen so far today. Especially after games 1 and 2, which were so close. Hammer and tongs they were. I mean, Naples has looked in a different class today.
Yeah, he certainly has, but he's had to perform for his team because, again, for those 2 disappointing results in game 1 and 2, they, as you said, it's a goal either side. This, however, has been one-way traffic.
Brahim Diaz. Naples just considering his options here. Leao has been a real focal point, the spearhead in that trident. And well, here is your look at the updated league table as things stand. Still Roma, Bayern, Inter and Barcelona all to play here on Matchday 3.
And so as positive as it has been for AS Monaco, they can still potentially fall out of the top 6 with results left to play.
Bit of a victory lap, you feel, maybe, for Naples here, as now he can just focus on keeping the ball, knowing that the job is well and truly done. Still finding plenty of space on that far side. What do you think has gone wrong for Eldridge today? Is it a case of lack of preparation, not knowing what to expect, or maybe they've been counter-strategized by Naples here?
I think looking at it, I think it's a comfort level with the squad. I think it's a sense of, is he quite as comfortable with Monaco as he would have been with, say, Manchester United? Obviously, we have to bear in mind, he had a good bit of time with Manchester United and got used to the team. This, however, is, what, we're 3 match days in. This all goes clear, but as we're 3 match days in, and we're looking at results and looking at how they've been. Scored 1 goal in 3. He's still struggling to get used to this team.
Well, look out for Zlatan as ever. It's just a different type of anticipation when the ball goes to Zlatan's feet here for AC Milan. It's been the same way all day, and no doubt will be all season. Double touch by Leao, lovely work. Now has a bit of green grass to run into, instead plays it off to Rebic. Cleared away by Eldridge in what has been a day to forget in his professional club career. Naples, though, on cloud 9 here. Rebic looking for Leao, who did follow it through, but that one will signal the end of game 3. It will be points for Milan here today, and what a way to do it. Naples taking it 4-0.
Yeah, it's a big result for him, and again, he needed to. For confidence for Milan to take it out into Matchday 4, they needed something to take away from that game. They needed something, and luckily they got it in terms of what we saw there. 4-0 in game 3. They'll be delighted, at least from what we have seen already, to take away 3 points.
Yeah, not only a fantastic performance from Naples in game number 3, it'll also help out their goal difference a little bit. Sure, they lose games 1 and 2, but it's only by a single goal margin. Game 3, though, certainly salvages that a little bit back in their favour. Eldridge's struggles this season continue, though, Semra, and the question I think not only the fans will be asking, but also his Monaco teammates, is when is the ball going to start rolling for Eldridge? Because no wins out of 3 so far. It's not what we expect from a player of his calibre.
And it's not just no wins. He's only managed to score 1 goal as well, to add insult to injury. And surely we'll have to see him react sometime soon, because there's not too many games left, or match days left, I should say, for the regular league, if they obviously want to get themselves into the knockout round. But having said that, it's good that his teammates were able to perform, because now, we'll check on it later, but I think they've managed to get themselves into 3rd in the table. It's the first time this season they've actually broken into the top 6. 4, thank you very much for that correction. I hadn't had it in front of me, so I'm glad you looked it up. So now they're 4th, but still, the point is they've managed to break into the top 6. They hadn't yet done so. We're talking about the reigning champions. We saw 2 games in which they really showed how emphatic they can be whenever they need to be. It was Maccabi, for example. It was a great game one, wasn't it? Basketball-like style game, end-to-end, plenty of goals as well. Maccabi then becomes now the outright goal scorer at the top of the very list, the 3-time world champion. And then, obviously, game 2 as well was even better, a 7-goal thriller.
Yeah, hardly time for myself and Wes to catch our breath throughout those games. Absolutely fantastic. It's what we want to see at this level. And Monaco, I think they'll be fairly happy with coming away with 6 points. It's better than they've been able to do on the previous 2 match days. So it's not all doom and gloom, but yeah, definitely I think they'll be looking into why exactly that game number 3 happened, because there was a chance for them to go into that top 3.
So there you have it. Bittersweet, I guess we could say, but there's definitely some positives to take away from the overall match for today. Having said that, Uzma is with Weza right now, so we can get his thoughts about how he did individually, because it was quite stellar, his performance, as well as that of his teammates. Weza?
Thank you very much, guys. I'm here with Uzma Kabil, captain of AS Monaco. First of all, congratulations for the performances today. 6 points. Very happy with that performance?
Yes, very happy. That's why we celebrate like this, because we train a lot. It's very difficult for us. We duped. It's not easy like for camps. It was unlucky first match day and the second. And now we had little luck and we won. That's why we celebrate like this, and we are really happy.
Yeah, it was great to see the passion on show from you guys. And again, Cam's now getting on the score sheet, getting his points. Have your teammates struggled to get used to Monaco as a team?
It's different. It's not the same match than the first. But we focus, we train a lot, and we focus for this match day.
Speaking of next match day 4, Arsenal are up next for you guys. I can even tell from that reaction, it's going to be difficult. How do you feel that game might go?
I think we will play the best team. Of course, 9 points against Manchester. Manchester is favorite this year. 9 points against them. It's a really good team. They have a good roster, and I think it will be a great match.
Well, as we know, Monaco will always give it their best on any of the match days. And guys, I'll throw it back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you very much indeed. Well, let's